Today is the end of season number 6 here at Tokyo 23 FC, but perhaps most importantly, it's episode number 50. A warm welcome back. I hope you guys are excited. Before we get into things, just a thank you. Not many series on YouTube make it to 50 episodes, and whilst interest in the series has been waning as of late, I appreciate you guys being here with me for the last 2 games of the season, as we are in a title fight. Tokyo 23 v Albirex. There is 1 point separating the two teams. If we win this first game today, we've won the league and we'll have a big end of season party and probably forget about the Tajigi City game. If we lose the game today, well, we're potentially throwing away the title, as it is a head-to-head battle between two teams who have already secured promotion. That promotion, by the way, was only confirmed a week ago. We will be playing in J1. That has looked like a distinct possibility for a while, but nice to see it achieved. And if we look at the board budgets here, yeah, we're entering the big leagues now. A wage budget rise to £51,000 a week, a transfer budget set of £1.4 million as well. J1 is definitely an opportunity for a team like ourselves to build up a bit of money, build up the infrastructure around the club. I think the aim for next year is simply going to be staying up, but you know what? We'll worry about that in tomorrow's transfer special. When it comes to past meetings against Albirex, we've won 1 of 5 meetings. We've lost the other 4. Things are going to be tough today. Let's run the intro and get straight into things. Yes, folks, how is it going? A warm welcome back. It's Wednesday, it is episode 50, and I am feeling excited at the prospect of what we've got cooking up today, as potentially we could secure the title with a win in the first game. If that does happen, I think I will take the opportunity towards the end of today's episode, instead of doing the second match, which won't really have any meaning, to kind of just talk about the squad and go in a bit more detail with the planning going into next year, because we have kind of got to come up with a plan sooner rather than later. But you know what, for the here and now, I'm going to look at the positives. We have been absolutely superb this year, and whilst defensively, we've not exactly been the best. If we just look at the league table here, we've scored 115 goals, Albirex have scored 58. So, I want to say I'm expecting goals in this next game. I'm not sure I am. Albirex have only conceded 26 goals this year. They've built their season on defence. We've built our season on attack. I'll let you guys decide now down in the comments. Go leave a prediction. Who's going to win this first game today? Now, of course, I left things last episode with us having a big break to our game against Roas, so it was worth the wait for that game, because as you can see here, we managed to win it 4-1 away from home. We came back from behind, which is always pleasing. Kamiyama with 2 assists and a goal. The right attacking mid has been absolutely superb this year. He has, 22 goal contributions in 31 games, 4 player of the matches. Last year, I was a little bit nervous about what he was actually capable of, especially because at the start of his time at the club, he was really struggling. He ended last season on a high. He has continued that form this year. Yeah, he was absolutely superb. And from that 4-1 win to a 2-0 win, this one here, not quite as convincing. Goals either side of half-time got us the win against Catalan. Sasaki with one just before the break made the team talk easier. Honda then got one at the start of the second half. And well, as you can see here, Tachibana doing Tachibana things. The right back picked up man of the match again. He has 18 assists in 33 games for a right back. That is just silly, isn't it? That is a sensational return. He has recently signed a new 5-year deal at the club, which, when we're promoted, gets an extra 3 years slapped on the end of it. So he's basically contracted here for the next 8 years. Given the fact he's 19, I almost feel like we've just got the right back's position sorted for the rest of the save game. Now, I do just want to show you about what is going to be happening at the club in the off-season, because as you can see here, I have a clause in many a contract that is contract extension after promotion. All the players you can see listed here have got a number of years being left on their contracts as a result of being promoted. In fact, when you look at the starting 11, 7 of our starting 11 are going to have at least 2 years added on. Tabber, who of course was running into the last year of his contract, is about to be stuck here for a further 2 years on £800. I probably should offer him a wage rise. Right now, the demands he wants, bit out of my budget. And I think that actually the really nice thing about these players signing contracts that have these optional contract extensions is when you look at the ages of these players, a lot of them are the younger players that I definitely view as the long-term options in their respective positions. We are setting ourselves up nicely for the long haul. Players like Sasaki here is about to have his contract kick in to 2035. A 5-year deal for him is very good. We have him locked in. If someone wants to sign him, they're going to have to pay close to that guide value. Speaking of which, since we've had our promotion confirmed, valuations of our players has gone up. I think that will also happen once promotion is officially confirmed. Valuation is tied very much to kind of reputation of players, the division you're in, the contracts those players have. And, well, if we are going to sell any players, I feel like we're going to take some pretty big bids to let them go. I'm also going to be interested to see what happens with our finances. In our first season in J2, we actually made a small profit during the kind of game-to-game period of the season when we weren't spending money on new players, new facilities, new coaching badges and whatever else. This year, we did up our wage spend quite a bit to £35,000. As a result of that, we have slowly been losing money over the course of this year, certainly at a sustainable rate, may I add. But yeah, going into J1, I think the money is going to be changing quite a lot here. We are going to be dealing with millions of pounds in TV money, which is rather exciting. Anyway, to kick things off today, we've got the home game against Albirex. You may remember we took them on in an earlier episode this year. On that occasion, we lost 2-1. A late goal for Morata was a late consolation that we couldn't build upon. I would love to get one over on them today. It's going to be tricky, but it is what we are going to dive straight into. With only 2 games played since last episode, albeit it was 2 months ago, we can just get into this. Now, like I mentioned, we have both played 36 games. A draw here still puts us in the lead position. If we win here, the title is confirmed. I would very much like to do that. Don't necessarily think it's going to be easy. Now, in terms of team news for this game, Ono, fitness test not required. That condition suggests otherwise, as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to bring in Morata to play at left back. I've been training this guy to play at left back because I think he could be a good, versatile full-back option for us. So he's going to be thrown perhaps a little in the deep end, but he is either-footed, so he should be capable of playing this position. In terms of the rest of the team, the defence hasn't exactly been in sensational form, at least when it comes to the centre-backs as of late. In fact, Look Manga was on a crazy goal-scoring run. Feels like ages since I've seen him score, so if he wants to score today, that would be nice. In the midfield, Freya and Denise have not quite been the dominant forces they were the previous few years. They are perhaps the 2 players that I look at going into our promotion and think maybe new centre mids are going to be needed, but at least the here and now, I'm going to put faith in them and hope that they can wrestle control of this game if necessary. Up top, it is Sasaki and Taba. Sasaki has 21 goals, Taba has 22. If you're wondering about the Golden Boot Award, Sasaki has 19 goals, Taba and Honda have 17 goals each. There's a bit of an internal struggle, I feel like, for the Golden Boot Award. I hope my players are still going to pass to one another, but with 3 of them in the fight for the Golden Boot Award, with just 2 games left, we could see some ball hogging going on. At least if Football Manager was realistic. I have no idea if Football Manager is actually going to simulate in the game. I feel like it should. Anyway, our recent form has been very, very good. 1 draw in our last 5. The rest of the results wins as for Albirex. They've been a little bit flippy-floppy lately. They have been struggling a fair bit. I think maybe a bit of complacency having confirmed their promotion. It is the reason we've managed to just get ahead of them in the title fight. But when you look at our goal difference, you can tell we win games dominantly. They don't win games by quite the same margins. They are playing a 4-3-3. Now, I have typically throughout this year said I don't really like playing against the 3-man midfield, especially with the advanced playmaker. So I am going to make the early change just to move Freya to deep line playmaker. I know it might seem like a really minor change, but just having him sit that little bit deeper with the ball and not perhaps getting quite as forward as often, I think is somewhat essential just to offer us just a little bit of balance. Anyway, Morata, he's sliding in at left back today. We'll keep a close eye on him as he's still learning that position. He's laid it to Freya, who's now become a deep line playmaker. He's turned into Pirlo. He's given it to Kamiyama, who thinks he's Pirlo too. Not with shooting like that. That was awful. So far in this game, 20 minutes played. We've had a load of shots. They've not had many. We've also managed to injure one of their players. Who was it we injured? Yama? I mean, he's quite good, isn't he? He's on £4,400 a week. Sorry, how much are Albirex paying their players? I've not actually looked at this year. I mean, they are missing some of their big guns, actually. Jefferson and Kienen, definitely saying that correctly. They are both not playing in this game. Look at their wages. Sorry, they've got a player on £14,000 on the bench. This is mental. I'm looking at these numbers now. I realise that when we go to J1, it's going to be even more absurd. We've already got a bit of a taste of with that, haven't we, when it's come to Emperor Cup games. But yeah, that is something that I'm going to have to recalibrate in my mind perhaps this summer, how much I'm going to have to offer the kind of quality of players I need to sign to stay up. Speaking of which, we have quality. Tachibana's one such player. He's given it to Taba. Taba scores. He's 1 goal behind Sasaki in the Golden Boot fight. These two, I feel like, have linked up so much this year as well. The Tachibana to Taba collection. It's just a beautiful thing, isn't it? This collection, this connection, it happens all the time. It's happened again here. There was a very crowded box. Impressive pass to pick out Taba. Nice little finish into the bottom corner too. Okay, we're approaching the end of this first half. A goal to the good. They've done nothing. For all the years where they have bullied us, Albirex, they have looked way, way, way off the pace in this game so far. Like I said, we lost them 2-1 earlier on this year. We've lost them 4-2 the previous year. We have never really been able to convincingly get one over on them until potentially potentially now, what is that finish by Taba? I mean, he's now joint with Sasaki in the Golden Boot Award. It's 2-0. This just felt like a very un-Football Manager finish. You know, when you've played enough Football Manager, you feel like you've seen all the different kinds of goals. I mean, the way in which he's run wide there, dragged the keeper out of position and then slotted it in, that's just beautiful. 2-0 before the break. You love to see it. Gonna tell the players here I'm very, very happy. Of course, a draw would mean the title is not wrapped up today. So we've bowled a lead from 2 goals up a few times this year, quite infamously. I'm going to hope that we're going to avoid that here. Tachibana with the throw into Vinicius Diniz. 1 more goal, and I feel like I'd start to relax at least a little bit, knowing that a draw would still put us in a commanding position to win the league. But Sasaki to Taba, he's on for the hat-trick. He's only bloody gone and got it. He's on £800 for another 3 years upon our promotion. That is a robbery, isn't it? What I will say is if there was any question marks over, will the players link up? Will they still set each other up? Sasaki there, the striker, with a sensational pass. Not a player really known for his creativity. Weighted to perfection. Taba got him behind, and he's now in the Golden Boot lead. 25 minutes left in this game. I feel like we can perhaps start to make a couple of changes. I'm going to bring in some fresh legs. Asaro and Sasaki are going to come on. Sakaguchi on a booking, I do not like. Honda on a booking as well, I don't like. I must admit, for the likes of, Yoshida here at centre-back and also Sakurai, I don't want to say it too loudly, might be some of the last games you ever see them play for us. If we're going to strengthen our team upon our promotion, I think they are the players currently outside the starting 11 that would probably just drop out the squad altogether, but actually hold enough value to be worth selling. So, I don't know. If this is going to be their last games, and that's not to say it will, because I'm not over-planned transfers just yet, enjoy what you're seeing on the pitch from the mirror. It might be the last bit of action we see from our boys, who have been at the club, to be fair, between them, for a good few years. They have seen this team rise through the ranks. This is going to be, a fourth promotion in 4 years? It's been a pretty monumental rise. We've looked very, very good. These players have played a big role in it. But I feel like their race is run. Speaking of which, Morishita here is playing it to Tajima, who's going to shoot and score. Nakano has made some great saves this year. That is awful. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a great shot. It's a great effort, but I feel like Nakano could do better here. I feel like he's let himself down. The clean sheet's gone. As long as we don't concede 3 more, I'm fine. Everything's fine. I'm calm. That was, by the way, Albirex's first shot of the game. They've had 59% of the ball, but they are really not doing a great deal with it. They are getting the ball forward, perhaps with a bit more urgency now. I'm going to hope that maybe leaves them open to the counter-attack, although... Oh my word, I was thinking I need to panic. Look, Manga's made a massive block there. If they scored another, it would have been full-blown panic stations. It would have been hitting the big red button. The alarm would have been going off. And, well, there would have been pandemonium in the away end for Albirex, because I feel like they'd suddenly feel like we're there for the taking. Still got a corner to deal with here, which Asaro's going to deal with. I feel like this is the pointless Football Manager highlight, but because I'm a content creator, I have to pretend there's a chance for something interesting to happen. Sasaki, Asaru. You know what? Prove me wrong, lads. Keep the highlight going and make something good happen. The ball's gone all the way to Kamiyama. There is options in the middle for the right midfielder. He floats in. Taba is under it. Can't get there. It's cleared away by Albirex, but we are still looking to get the ball forward. Sadly, on that occasion, we couldn't get a shot away. Just as a reminder, a win here. The league is won with a game to spare. Albirex need a late miracle. Still do have 1 sub in my back pocket if I want to make it, but I don't know. I feel like I want to hold on to it just in case of injury. Even now in the 88th minute, as Kamiyama's been gifted the ball. Taba's there. Taba is there. Kamiyama didn't get the memo. He shoots. It hits the woodwork. It comes back to Taba. He's got 4 goals today. If he doesn't like important matches, I don't understand how Football Manager works, because this has been a high-pressure game. But to be honest, with the finishing that's been on display, with the chance creation we've had, we've never looked in doubt. Bit of fortune, perhaps, about how the shots hit the post and come back to Taba there. But he's finished it. He has to be there in the right place. He timed his run, didn't get offside, didn't get overexcited. And with that, that is going to wrap up a monumental win. What a result that is for the lads. It's a trophy lift. We're absolutely loving it. And we get to celebrate with our iconic Tokyo 23 G kits. Oh, what an occasion. The J2 title is secured. It's another promotion. We had to wait a little longer than I wanted to get out of this division. I was hoping we could do it at the first time of asking. This year I said playoffs was the minimal aim, to be honest. We've never really looked like being in the playoffs. We've always been right up there. Maybe that little wobble where we lost to Jeff. But all of that hardship that we went through over the course of the year has been worth it for this moment here. We secure the title, looking at how things have gone elsewhere. I mean, it doesn't even matter, does it? There wasn't even that many games being played. We look deserved winners, I feel like, when you look at the goal difference. But 84 points is a good total. Last year, we managed to get 70 points. This year, obviously, it is a big jump up. What I will say is the gulf between kind of the top 3 teams this year, ourselves, Albirex and Jeff, and those behind, feels a lot bigger than it was the previous year. Last year, you had teams all the way down in 9th, including Albirex, getting 60 points. This year, I mean, right now, there's only 4 teams with 60 points. And in fact, there's a very low chance of anyone else reaching that. Hadn't actually realised that we looked at the past table there. Albirex finished 9th last year, so they've had a really good season of their own. I had entered, by the way, the Japan Hall of Fame. I mean, that's an occasion, isn't it? Look at us up there. One of these names is not like the others. And I'll tell you what, it's worked the bloody space. 6 domestic divisions, 1 domestic cup, 136 points in the Hall of Fame. Do people ever look at the Hall of Fame in Football Manager? I don't think I ever have. Except, of course, when I get an inbox item telling me I've entered it or I'm climbing up it, in which case it absolutely matters and it's the most important thing in the game. We've got promoted. We're having a good time. Taba in top form as Tokyo 23 dominate. I mean, if there was a time to score 4 goals in a match, that game there was a bloody good time to do it. What I will say is, rather unfortunately, that result there leaves me in a bit of an awkward predicament where this game against Tajigi Sports Club just doesn't really have... And I don't want to say it doesn't have any meaning, and also it's soccer club, not sports club, but I've already played them in an away day. We already did the away day against them many a year ago in a cup competition. If I look at the past meetings with them, it was all the way back in the Emperor's Cup in 2027, so it's not even like there's an away day we're missing out on. I mean, they're not a good team, they're not a bad team, they're in 15th, but regardless of what happens, we're going to win the league. So rather than worry about that, I'm going to get beyond that game to the end of season wrap-up bit. Like I said, I do want to talk just a little bit about the squad going into the J1 year. Obviously, it's going to be our first season in J1. It's going to be a little bit of a step up and a little bit of a challenge, but with the young squad, with the potential we've got, yeah, I think we have a chance. I guess the big question is, do I stay all-out attack? We'll talk about it in a mo. Okay, folks, it's December 2nd. I've had a chocolate in the morning because it's, of course, an advent calendar and all that. It's the end of the season. Some fun news, I think. Hollyhock managed to win the playoffs. I didn't even realise they were still in the playoffs until I saw that they'd won the final against Jeff United. Of course, Hollyhock, just as a reminder, were the team that finished behind us in J3 the year we got promoted. So they've had the same 2 promotions in 3 years. They will be playing in J1. And as you can see from their history, they've not played in J1 in quite a long time. Look at that graph. Welcome to J1 Hollyhock. And I'll tell you what else is fun. The fact that we win our final game of the year, and due to the way in which we win it, we've ended up with the top 3 goal scorers in the league. Taba on 21 goals, Sasaki on 20, Honda on 19. I don't think I've ever seen that in Football Manager before. At least, not that I can remember. To have the 3 leading goal scorers in the division is wild. Also, on the assist front, Tachibana and Kamiyama, with 34 assists between them, the top 2 assisters. Honda getting 10 assists as well. I can't believe I'm saying this. Honda might be my player of the year. By the way, if you were wondering, in that final game against Tajigi Soccer Club, we managed to win 3-0. It was a convincing result, but there was, well, a few injuries to speak of, and one injury that's happened since the end of the year. Taba, major hip injury, out for up to 3 months. We've sent him to a specialist to hopefully stop the injury reoccurring. He's never, I don't think, had issues with it. I say that. I was going to say he's never had issues with his hip before. He actually did 2 years ago where he missed 2 months. So that is maybe something to keep an eye on. Hopefully the specialist is going to deal with that. I mean, maybe I'll put teams off putting him in a bid for him in the off-season. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Anyway, we are at that end of season review stage of the year, so we can have a little look at the review. And, well, you can see here, Honda signing of the year. We signed him on a free transfer, as a reminder. The fact that we signed Sasaki for £800,000 suddenly doesn't seem like necessarily the best investment of money. Interesting to note that when it came to signings made this year, we didn't actually make that many that played a load in the first team. Of course, players like Asaru developed throughout the year, and Asaru, to be honest, has been a bit of a surprise package with just how much he has improved since he joined the club. He's been playing a little more often as that centre mid with the more attacking kind of duty as the playmaker. Besides him, Kanishi has been chilling in the B team. Not quite the same level of development for him, sadly. When it came to transfers out, of course, Abdul Ahmed, perhaps the most notable, £800,000 now almost received for him. I think we're very close to getting all these bonuses triggered. I think he's like 1 league game away from triggering it because it was 20 games games he had to play to get us £200,000. So he'll almost certainly hit that next year unless he's sold. A little bit sad that he's not here, but I mean, I'm going to be honest, Honda more than stepped up and filled that gap, didn't he, out on that left-hand side. Somewhat unsurprising, the board have given us an A+ for our performance in the league this year. We were only selling out our stadium 20%. I think now that we're in J1, we might end up with more away fans than home fans coming to our games, but you know what? If the money lands in our pocket from ticket sales, I guess that's okay. In terms of this year, 87 points is a monumental total, of course. Goal scoring for fun. Hadn't quite realised how good our run of form to end the year had been. Besides that away result against Jeff, we were absolutely sensational through the second half of this year. In some ways, I feel like that 4-1 win that we saw against Albirex is perhaps, I don't know, it's a bit of a culmination of how good we've been this year in the second half. Biggest win was 6-1 against Avispa. Match to remember, the 5-2 win against Ardia. And you can see here in this game, Denise got man of the match. Shall we watch it? I'd be lying if I was to tell you I can remember this goal, but I will see it here. How good was it by Denise? Oh wait, no, I do remember this goal. I think that happened in an episode. I'm certain that happened in an episode. I mean, that was good. Was that really a goal of the season, though? In terms of finances, a few of these don't look quite as positive as last year. That's because we didn't go on a run in the Emperor's Cup, which can offer some decent money. But crucially, our reputation's risen up to national. Sold a few more shirts this year. That's nice. And of course, now we're in J1. We are going to see that little bit more money. Here is how we lined up for the year. I'm looking at this team thinking, is there any kind of particularly contentious inclusions here? And I don't think this is. I think this is just our best 11 for the year. Taba leading the way with a 7.53 rating. Honda with the 7.41 as well. In fact, when you look at the team, it's a pretty good year. I feel like centre-backs and defensive mids, unless they're getting goals, never really get above a 7.0 rating. Just the rating algorithm that Football Manager has does not favour defensive players. I won J2 Manager of the Year. You'll love to see it. Fans Player of the Year was Taba. Young Player of the Year was Taba. Signing of the season went to Honda. Taba, of course, was top goal scorer with 26 goals. Tachi Bada, 21 assists is just absolutely stupendous. Absolutely love this man. And in terms of records broken, yeah, there was quite a few broken this year. Taba with most goals in a league match. Tachibana with most assists in a season. Nakano, 11 assists for the goalkeeper. 11 assists. 11 clean sheets. Tell you what, if you've got 11 assists as a goalkeeper, you're doing well. But no, Nakano, 11 clean sheets is a really, really impressive return, really. I know the rating isn't necessarily the most inspiring. Given the more attacking style of football we've played this year, we've left ourselves more open. He's had a bit more to do. I feel like when you look at his polygon and his actual ability, Nakano really is just a J1 quality goalkeeper. Like, he has got great consistency, great important matches. He is our captain, of course, as well. I feel like this man is going to be at the club for a long time. And of course, we have the manager timeline, which I'll be honest, is one of those things where as a feature, it seems like a great idea, but in practice, do you ever use this? I wish you could, like, curate it yourself a little bit more. I feel like then I'd be incentivized to keep it maintained. You know, it's kind of nice to look back through memory lane, isn't it? To see Yuichi Otta at his season where he broke the record for most goals in a year. Since he left us, by the way, it's all gone tits up. He's got 1 goal in 2 years. Here is a look, by the way, at the overall best 11. Otter is in that list with his 53 goals, which is still the lead. In fact, no, it's not the lead. Takagi's got up to 60. Kind of forgotten about Takagi this year because he's just been a super sub option for us a lot. I mean, 8 goals and 4 assists really isn't that bad as a sub, is it? I feel bad for Takagi. We've got 3 new kind of young starter, upstanding strikers, and he's just kind of been forgotten about. It's like Woody in Toy Story, and Taba is Buzz Lightyear. That's a weird analogy, isn't it? But yes, Takagi is top goal scorer with 60. Whether or not he'll still be there next year remains to be seen. In terms of appearances, Mitsuhashi. He's still at the club, by the way. He's still here. He's still chilling. I've been training him at left back, which he's almost picked up completely. The man who joined us in the non-leagues of Japan. He's played every single season. I've got to give him a game in J1, haven't I? It'd be rude not to. Our supporter profile has changed a little bit more. Fair weather fans emerging. In terms of expectations for this year, the board, the fans, avoid relegation. You know what? I'm glad it's not too much more ambitious than that. Board are absolutely delighted. We've been hitting their objectives. The one thing they've complained about is a lack of direct football. You know what? They can get over it. They're still giving me an A+ rating, and we still got a contract for the next 2 years. In terms of the aim for next year, just try and avoid relegation. Told the players what they wanted to hear. Just told them, we're going to stay up with the right additions. They all stood up and clapped. Life's good. I think it's interesting to note that when our staff compile a list of their best 11, they actually have Asaru in the team over Lucas Ferreira. Is that controversial? I think Ferreira's marginally better, but maybe that's just me. And I did also notice they have Sasaki in the best 11 over Vinicius Diniz. Vinicius Diniz, I am a little more lukewarm on than I was previously. Even Ferreira to an extent. I do think the centre mid area is where we need to improve. I've also noticed here that Uchimura is in the team at centre back. This guy's in my B team. Should he be higher up in the ranks? My staff think he's better than Sakaguchi. And I'll be honest, I don't know. He might be a little bit, actually, but I like Sakaguchi. Also, we've already got a centre-back joining us. Of course, alongside the onslaught of Japanese players we've got joining us on a free transfer, we did already sign Ibrahima Diouf, you might remember, as a centre-back option from Generation Foot. I'm sorry to Uchimura. Diouf's clear, and he's also 18. He's only just turned 18. This guy's going to be sensational this coming year. Very excited to have him joining us. Anyway, the squad are on a break for the next 45 days, so they can go and enjoy their break. Honda got the most exciting player award. I love the fact that in Japan you have a most exciting player. It's not like who's the best player. It was the most fun to watch. Honda got it. You can see here, Taba did get top goal scorer. As I already mentioned, we did have the top goal scorers in both second and third as well, which is just bizarre. Goal of the year, Diniz finished runners-up, sadly. I've been named manager of the year. And in the seasonal best 11, it is dominated by Tokyo 23 players. In fact, the only player who made it in, not from our team, was 2 Albirex players, and then Hollyhock's goalkeeper here, Sato, who actually looks absolutely mad. I feel like this man is probably the reason they've managed to get out of J2. He was signed on a free transfer. I mean, he can't really stop shots, but he's very good in the air and he's a bit eccentric. He's not my kind of goalkeeper, but he is very good. Honda set a record, by the way, for the best average rating in the league. He took the record away from Rueda, who you may remember last year was absolutely insane for Grampus. Of course, you might remember as well, we went toe-to-toe with Grampus last year. They have actually ended up 11th place in J1, which is a really good performance for a newly promoted team. At the other side of things, our affiliates in FC Tokyo have been relegated. I was looking forward to playing FC Tokyo for ages in this save game. They've now gone and got relegated. Last year they finished 3rd in J1 and they've just gone down. Are they still in the Champions League? I don't know if are they still in the Champions League? I think they've been knocked out. Oh gosh, it's the new format, isn't it? FC Tokyo technically still in the Champions League, just about, but they will be playing in J2. I'll be honest, going into this new year, I feel like if I just put the best 11 in, we're actually in a pretty good spot in a load of positions. Of course, we've got a new centre-back coming in to play alongside Lukmanga in Diouf, who at 18 years old has a load of room to grow. I feel like that's the big key thing with my team. There is a lot of room to grow, a lot of potential there. We are going to be looking for a bit of quality. If I'm being honest, I think the main area of concern has to be the centre-mid area. In an ideal world, we get a replacement, I think, for both Ferreira and Diniz. Worth noting that in J1 you get 1 extra foreign player spot, but there is a bigger emphasis on players who are homegrown at club, which does mean the likes of Junpei Noda, who's currently unhappy at the club, but is homegrown at Tokyo 23, will have to stay here. I don't care if he's crying. In fact, just to confirm the rules here, you can see you're allowed 5 foreign players, and you have to have a minimum of 4 players trained at the club for 3 years before their 21st birthday. I think I've got enough players to qualify for that just about. That would have been more of a problem had we been promoted last year. Anyway, folks, that just about wraps things up for season number 6 here at Tokyo 23. Next time out, start of the transfer window begins. Like I said, centre mid, the order of the day. We've got a load of money to spend. We'll try and do some wheeling and dealing. Maybe now I can attract high school and university players without having to offer them silly money. That'd be nice if it's the case, wouldn't it? I'll see you guys tomorrow as we prepare for a J1 season. Until next time, take things easy. It's me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.